everybody. The final video of the build series. Finally. This is just going to be a video just talking about the car. I'll be holding the phone during this video, so you'll get some closer views of it. So I just going to do a little video, kind of like an under the hood of my car. This is going to be my personal car. I already have another car that I've been racing, obviously, but this is going to be, I think that I'm going to run this car at RCGP. So hopefully I can get it out to track here in the next couple of weeks and get it broke in before then, and yeah, have it all ready to go, and look forward to seeing some team drivers at that event that I've not met before and having a good time. Hopefully we can have a good showing for the team. Alright, so let's get going here. So if you followed along the full build series, you're just going to hear a lot of the same stuff that you heard in each section. I'll just be going over everything. It's kind of like a recap video. So I'll just say that right off the bat, I run the Sendit RC HV626 servos, Sendit RC servo horns. If you watched the radio tray video, you've seen my cool little battery plug mod, expert switch. I'm using the Alpha Dragon 4 engine. Amazing engines. If you haven't tried one, I highly recommend you do. They come pre-broke in. Super easy right out of the box. Probably the easiest nitro engine experience you will ever have. The engine is absolutely amazing to tune. Easiest motor to tune you'll ever mess with. It idles like I've never seen before, and it's just I can't say enough good things about it. I use it with the 2159 Alpha pipe. This is the Clinic RC dry filter. Haven't actually tried one of those yet, but I've heard nothing but amazing things. So I'll be testing that shortly. Mugen tank pull. I use JTP fuel line. So my car I use the carbon fiber shock towers, front and rear. I use the aluminum chassis braces, front and rear. Stiffens up the flex of the car a little bit. You'll get a more consistent handling, better jumps and landing. I do change the turnbuckles out to titanium turnbuckles, just less weight. I don't mess with spending crazy money on getting titanium screws, but the turnbuckles are a pretty substantial difference in weight versus the steel ones. So I do run titanium turnbuckles. I use another option part I use is the red front spring. I do run the stock rear spring, but I pretty much run the red front spring most of the time. I have recently started running the +1 wheel hexes and really liking those. I run those front and rear, as well as that new optional C block with the square pill. I run that because with that I can run the arm further in and narrow the pivot. So I'm running this with the arm the pivot as narrow as I can get it all the way in, as well as on the D block all the way in on that. So the arm the pivot is as narrow as we can possibly make it. That's how I'm running it. And that's going to give you more grip, more stability in the rear end running that narrower pivot. It also seems to feel to me like the rear end rolls around less. It feels a little bit stiffer and more stable is the best way I can describe it. It just feels more planted, more in the track. The wing is the WRC high downforce wing, no wicker bill. These are the aluminum WRC wing buttons. The wing wrap are done by Bipolar Designs. Does all my stickers and wraps. I have J&T bearings throughout the whole car. Let's see here. Another option part you would definitely want to get would be the different sway bar options. The car comes 2.3 front, 2.7 rear. I would recommend as a starting place being 2.3 front, 2.6 rear being a better starting, or even a 2.5 rear. I like the 2.6 rear. I usually tend to like a stiffer rear bar, and I generally like either a 2.3 or 2.4 in the front. So I usually like pretty stiff bars compared to some people who like the softer bars. I usually like a softer shock package and a stiffer sway bar. I like the feel of that. So yeah, not really much else to say about it. If you followed along the build series, then hope it wasn't too boring for you. Thank you for following along. Hopefully you learned a lot. If you did follow along and you followed all my tips correctly, then I would say you should have a pretty dialed car right off the bat. Keep in mind with the WRC car, it does take a good amount of run time to break in the drive line and the traction of the car to come up. So don't freak out when you run your car and immediately start changing things. Give it, I would say, at minimum, I would say 8 tanks of running on the track before you start worrying about what the setup feels like or what the car feels like. I would say run it 8 tanks of fuel, bare minimum, before you start judging the handling. And that gives it, what you're waiting for is for the drive line to actually break in and wear the pins and everything correctly and create that drive shaft bind that actually gives the car the grip. It takes a little longer to break this car in than some of the other cars I've had, so yeah, I would definitely just know that I would not rush wondering what the setup feels like of the car. So as you can see, if you follow along my build videos, the car will have 0 bind. It'll be super free. Everything, like, it droops down and like there's no bind in the suspension. It's nice and free. It drops on its own. That's the way you want it. There are some things that I did during the video that are must-see things, I would say. So I recommend following that series. Even though it is boring, just put it on and listen to it while you're building your car, and any time you hear a key tip or something that I'm talking about, then focus more in on that. So Another thing I would like to mention is I do run VRP pistons. I run the XV3s. That's I would say if you run on a rough track, it is a pretty much a game changer type. It's a big deal. If you run on a smooth high speed track, not as noticeable of a difference. So not that big a deal. You can see I have this manifold stop down here, so my pipe can't drop down. That's from Clinic RC. But yeah, looking forward to actually having some warm weather and being able to get out and do some practicing again instead of this only getting to run once a month stuff. I'm really looking forward to getting back to some weekly practicing and getting out to some more races. RCGP coming up. Really excited about RCGP. So yeah, I mean, feel free if you watch my videos and you have any kind of questions. Always feel free to reach out to me, either Messenger or through our Discord. You can ask questions, or you can even send me a private message if you want and ask me questions. Just feel free to always ask questions, and I will help you in any way that I can. I'm pretty responsive to Messenger. Discord sometimes a little bit more time, but I'm still pretty responsive. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have or anything like that. I will try to get my starting setup for RCGP on this car. I will try to attach that, or have Matt attach that to the video in the description or something. I'll try to get him, see if he can attach my starting setup for RCGP in the description. So hopefully that'll be down below in the description for everybody to look at. But anyway, thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for being a part of the WRC family, the Synod RC family. There will be lots of good things coming. Lots of good things. We're only just getting started, so it's going to be a good year.